All right, so what's happened next is that God tells Moses to go and pick up some dust and let it go in the air. And as the dust blows in the wind, boils are going to break out on all the people and the animals of Egypt. And God does this. Of course, Pharaoh says, pray for us. Moses does. God removes it. He doesn't do anything he said he's going to do. Then the Lord said to Moses, get up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. So you see this again, that God has called Moses to get in front of Pharaoh again. Remember, we challenged you the other day of who is it that God's asking you to get in front of, and maybe they need a second confrontation. You need to pray about that, be obedient to God, but let's move on. This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says: let my people go so they can worship me. If you don't, I will send more plagues on you and your officials and your people. Then you will know that there is no one like me in all the earth. By now, I could have lifted my hand and struck you and your people with a plague to wipe you off the face of the earth. But I have spared you for a purpose, to show my power and to spread my fame throughout the earth. But you still lorded over my people and refused to let them go. So tomorrow at this time, I will send a hailstorm more devastating than any in all the history of Egypt. Quick, order your livestock and servants to come in from the fields to find shelter. Any person or animal left outside will die when the hail falls. God's amazing, isn't he? He's like, look, I'm busting loose on you right now. But it's just so cool how God gives this window of opportunity as he says, I want to be merciful. I'm giving you an opportunity to get into shelter. It's your choice. You can either be obedient to what I say or suffer the consequences. Some of Pharaoh's officials, I'm going back and reading the scriptures now. Some of Pharaoh's officials were afraid because of what the Lord had said. They quickly brought their servants and livestock in from the fields, but those who paid no attention to the word of the Lord left theirs out in the open. It's pretty crazy, that as God gets in our face about stuff, sometimes we just ignore him. In the midst of God manifesting himself and showing himself over and over and over and over and over again, there were people that were like, wow, our gods are not gods. Because see, the plagues had been attacking the gods of Egypt and showing that God was the God and not those things that they were worshiping. And so as God took those things down and showed who he was, there were some people that began to say like, wow, I have not been following the right things. I'm not doing the right things. And this God that I'm hearing about, he's God. And immediately they jumped in obedience and brought their stuff in, and they were protected. Those who ignored God suffered the consequences. We have a choice today, this very day, as you listen to this devotional. Are you going to do what God says? You can ignore him. If you ignore him, his word will come to pass, and there are consequences to not obeying God. And every one of us have that choice today, to be obedient or not. And so therefore, let's go forth and be an obedient people, getting in the face of people we need to get in the face of, and responding to God as he has probably gotten into our face about some things that we need to be obedient about. So let's do it. Church, let's be the church that Jesus died to make us. Have an amazing day with him.